It's Runtime, so here's everything that happened in Indian tech in the last 24 hours. First of all, OpenAI is opening an office in Delhi. Now, OpenAI has already established a local entity in India, and they've started hiring a dedicated team here too. And the goal here is to strengthen partnerships with the government of India, as well as local businesses, developers, and institutions. And as many of you know, India is OpenAI's second largest market for ChatGPT, but it's actually their largest market specifically when it comes to students. There are more Indian students using ChatGPT than any other country in the world. And in the last year, OpenAI's weekly active user base in India has grown by more than 4x. Now, speaking of American companies entering the Indian market, the Unique Identification Authority of India has partnered with Starlink. And basically what this means is that Indian Starlink customers will be able to have a quick and paperless onboarding process via Aadhaar-based authentication. All right, next up, Dhruv Rathee has shared that AI Fiesta hit $3 million in ARR in just 36 hours. AI Fiesta is also available on the Play Store, where it crossed 100,000 downloads, and they have 20,000 paid subscribers now. And the way that Dhruv is doing the math here is that a subscription to AI Fiesta costs $12, and there are 20,000 people who have paid that amount, and that means that AI Fiesta has made $240,000 so far, and when you multiply that number by 12 months, you get $2.9 million. Now, Dhruv has also said that they're working to improve the platform, so most of the major bugs and glitches have been fixed now. People will also soon have the ability to upload files, search the web. Content formatting has also been improved, and the biggest one, in my opinion, is that they're giving free tokens to people who are probably going to reach the monthly token limit of 400,000 tokens per month, which is apparently less than 1% of AI Fiesta's user base, although I'm sure that percentage will grow as the days go on, right? AI Fiesta has only been live for a couple of days. Now, I think the problem here is that for people who are power users, that 1%, and it'll eventually increase to 2% or 3%, and I would probably put myself in that category, right? I like to feed LLMs huge amounts of data and see them just chug through it. Even if AI Fiesta increases the token limit to 1 million tokens, let's say, more than double the current limit, it's just not going to be able to compare to something like Gemini or ChatGPT, where the amount of usage that you can get out of their paid subscription is almost limitless. But Dhruv has also mentioned that they're rethinking on improving the token system so it's more efficient and powerful for heavy users. So let's see how that goes. Now, Shantanu Goyal had a cheeky response to AI Fiesta's $3 million ARR. He said that he just launched a closed beta for his Kannada learning app, and it's already on track to hit $5 billion in ARR because his wife paid for the $10,000 plan as soon as it launched. All right, next up, we're already seeing the fallout of the government of India's ban on real money gaming. So Dream 11 is going to be shutting down their core business, which makes up 2/3 of their revenue. And this is likely going to result in major cost cutting and mass layoffs. And then the other 1/3 of their business is primarily dominated by ventures like CrickBuzz, which is a cricket news website, Willow TV, a live cricket channel, and FanCode, a sports streaming platform. And when I actually sat down with Yannick Golasso, one of the founders of FanCode, for a podcast back in 2024, I never expected it to end up becoming Dream 11's primary business, but here we are. Now, other companies are following Dream 11's lead here. We've got Gamescraft, My11 Circle, Probo, Zupi, MPL. They've all halted the real money gaming side of their business in India. But there's one interesting fact here. MPL makes 50% of its revenue from other countries. And so they're going to be offering RMG to customers abroad, but they're going to shut down their Indian RMG operations. And then just one more update on this. Bharti Mittal, who is the founder of Hike, is going to be exiting India and going all in on the United States and global markets. Now, most of you probably stopped thinking about Hike when WhatsApp became the dominant messaging platform in India, but they've been chugging along for years. They are working on something called Hike Gaming Nation, which is a PvP MMO gaming platform powered by blockchain, which currently you have to join the waitlist for, so I assume it's not yet released. But they've also got Rush by Hike, and this website isn't accessible anymore if you're based in India, but on their front page, they were claiming to offer more than 10 crore rupees in daily online cash games winnings. Rush is in the App Store and the Play Store, and their website shows that it's proudly made in India. And speaking of India, Rush has scaled to over $500 million in gross revenue in just 4 years, and all of that revenue was coming from India. Now, you can pause the video if you want to read through Kevin's entire post here. It's quite long, but the big point here is that Kevin wishes that India was quicker to decide what to do with RMG, in the same way that he wishes India had been quicker to decide what to do with crypto. Because what often happens here is that the government of India takes a while before it decides to ban something, and so during that limbo period, investors dump billions of dollars into companies that are operating in these industries. And I'll just wrap this one up by saying that this particular part of the article really stood out to me. India is one of the most exciting markets in the world for entrepreneurs and investors, but sudden regulatory reversals like this can cause turbulence and make investors wary of backing bold new ideas here. All right, next up, Edgehax has raised 1.39 crore rupees in their seed round. That's about $159,000 from Inflection Point Ventures. Edgehax is offering modular boards that combine compute, connectivity, and storage, and they're competing in the same space as Raspberry Pi, NVIDIA Jetson, and Google Coral. And the big picture here is that Edgehax wants to enable physical AI. So think of humanoid robots or autonomous vehicles or autonomous drones. And so they build something called Edgehax Skynet platform, which is specifically for running AI on the edge. This platform tops out at 140 TOPS, that's tera operations per second, which means that you could do on-device computer vision detection and tracking, you could do speech recognition, you could do self-driving, or even on-device inference for quantized LLMs. Edgehax Skynet also allows you to feed its SDK your own data and make a model tailored to your specific problem. So Edgehax is going to be using these funds to scale manufacturing, speed up product development, and also expand across India and also into the United States, Singapore, and Europe too. All right, next up, Agam Robotics, which is a Bengaluru-based drone company, has launched the DPM-02, which is a new drone system designed to make building and operating drones more reliable. And it combines two key components here, a power distribution board and a digital power module. And so in other words, the DPM-02 can supply power to motors and onboard computers while also keeping track of how much electricity is being used and its strength. Now, traditionally, drones need a lot of wires and separate modules to distribute and monitor power, which increases the risk of something breaking, and it also adds weight to the drone. And so the DPM-02 cuts down on all of these wires and connectors, reducing failure points and also saving space and weight. All right, next up, this is today's Builder Spotlight. Yajat Gulati and Srivartan Goenka have built Shadow, an AI agent for Microsoft Office. And I think that they'll do a better job of explaining what it is, so check this out.
One of the most common tasks given to an analyst today is to evaluate a company's financials using DCF analysis. And so we asked Shadow to pull out the financial reports for Tesla and create a DCF analysis on Microsoft Excel. As you can see, within minutes, it's pulled the data, written the analysis, and now we can ask Shadow to use Microsoft Word to write an investment memo explaining a buy-sell decision based on this DCF analysis. If you've worked in an office today, you know no decision gets made without a junior showing a PPT deck to a senior. And so we asked Shadow to create a PPT deck to explain all our findings. As you can see, it's creating new slides and populating with the data that it found. At the end of it, we asked Shadow to send an email using Microsoft Outlook, attaching all our findings from Microsoft Excel, Word, and PowerPoint. And that's it.
Now, currently early access to Shadow is limited, but if you want to try it out, you can join their waitlist on their website, or you can DM Yajat. His DMs are open on X. All right, that is all of the daily Indian tech news that I have for you all today. And for this week, I'm signing off until Monday of next week. If you're not already subscribed or following, then make sure to do that so you can stay informed on everything that's happening in Indian tech every single day. And I'll catch you in the next one.